Kindergartners, today we are going to do one of the harder ones that we've done. To do this one, it's going to really help if you have a white crayon. So see if you can find one of those. It'll make a couple of things easier. And then you'll need black as well. If you can't find black, you could probably use gray or some pencil. And I like to use blue for my background to go with the white, but you could use some other kind of color. We're going to be doing sparkling swans. Ooh, that's the other thing I need to tell you. If you can get your picture to school on Monday, we'll add some glitter to it to make the swans really sparkle. Alright, so I haven't always been showing you making my border lately because my computer is a little fussy about it. Look, it doesn't even want to focus on this right now. I don't know what its problem is. But I'm going to show you a little bit today because I'm going to make a white border. That seems kind of silly, right? Because you don't really see it. But if you color it kind of firmly, and then you tilt it so you can see it in the light, I'm sure you won't be able to see mine in the light. But if you color it kind of firmly and tilt yours, you can kind of see mine. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a sparkle there. It's kind of going to help your hand know what it's doing because we're coloring a white swan onto white paper. So I'm going to pause my video and I'm going to use white and make a really firm border all around the edge. I can feel it with my finger. When I feel over here, I just feel paper. When I feel it here, I feel a little slipperier and waxier. So do a border. See if you can feel it with your finger. That'll help us with some of the things we're doing later. Alright guys, here it is. You can kind of see a little bit in some of these places how the light glints on the wax. I've got my border. I can kind of feel it, but I really can't see it very well. I like to, be able to compare the sides and see that the same thickness is all around and check my curves. And I can't really do that. I can kind of feel, I can feel there's a little bit less crayon right over here. And I'm going to try to add some in there. So feel yours, check it. I know it seems strange to make a white border, but it's going to help us make the S better. And then we'll get some glitter on it to make it really look like a swan. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to kind of put a little bit of a border inside my border. Because we still need to get the S in here. But I want to start my fingers getting used to how it feels when my blue meets up with my white. So I'm going to start coloring real light over here and kind of work toward that and start to feel how it feels when this color crayon meets the really hard that I put over here. In fact, every now and then I'll just go into the white a little bit. And can you see how the white doesn't quite? It takes a little bit of the blue, but not very much. See here, I'm actually coloring blue on top of it. And as long as I color light, not very much sticks there. So I'm going to just do a little bit of blue around the white to kind of get used to how that feels. And get my eyes kind of used to seeing where my bits of white scribble are. And get used to shifting my paper just a bit so that I can see where I've done my white. So this is not really working on a border or a background right now as much as I'm just getting used to coloring the blue against the white so that I can kind of find my white. Because we're going to end up making a white S. It's really hard to see. Like I said, this is one of the trickiest ones to do. This one, the Z, the igloo that we haven't done yet, and the alligator that we haven't done yet, those are the 4 hardest ones. So this is the first, super tricky one that we're doing. So make sure you're not trying to rush yourself on this. Right, it's Friday. This is all the work you have. Normally you'd be at school all day long. And all you have to do today is go to chapel and work on your letter here. So now I'm coming up to my curve and I'm kind of trying to see maybe where I've done it. It feels like it's right about here. I feel like I'm hitting kind of a bump right in here somewhere. And you can see I'm not doing this very wide because I still have to get my swan into the middle. But I'm getting a little bit of it. And we're going to go through this step by step. We're going to take our time. Just do a piece at a time. And remember, like always, we just do our best. And that's good enough. Alright. I'm kind of sitting a little bit sideways on my chair. You can't see it right now. but my little bit sideways sitting helps me to kind of catch the spot where I can really see the light glistening on my white. Oh, look at the top of my paper now. I don't want to move my hand there. It'll change the light. But you can definitely see up there where there's some white crayon that's been done. Now up here I'm in a corner again, and I'm not too sure where my edge is. Maybe there-ish? I don't know. But, oh, I'm scooching my head over some more, and I can kind of see. Are you guys sitting all funny and crooked, maybe trying to see where your white edge is at? I'm going to come back around here, I think, and go this way, because I can see up there really well where my white edge is. I don't have as much light on the other side of my paper. But this side of my paper, I have lots of nice light to see. I can't move it around too much because it's banging the camera. Alright, let's see. I can kind of see up there. Alright. Here we go. So I'll tell you, often, this is one of the very last pictures we draw. It's not this time, but you've done at least 15 already, so that's probably helping you a lot. Alright, now we're going to switch back to some tricky stuff here with the white. So you know when we do an S, it's not a smiley face starting dot, it's a start in the middle, right? And then we curve back to the smiley face starting dot. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down here, right here in the middle. And I'm not even going to try to do the whole thing. I'm just going to kind of get part of that curve. I'm going to do half of that first little curve. Remember, we do a little curve to the middle back toward the smiley face. And I'm just going to get half of that right now. Alright. So there it is. And I'm going to take my blue now. I'm not going to do right here, because right here I'm going to put a face. But I can kind of see I've got a bit of white here, so I'm going to go right around here. And up there some. Following this part of a white curve. And I think I stopped. Let's see, where can I feel it? Oh, right there, I feel it. That's about where I stopped. And then I'm going to try to feel it, see where does it go. Right here I feel just dry paper with no crayon. So I'm going to do a little bit of the inside of it. Can you see how that's sort of helping us to see what we've done so far? Alright, now I'm going to go back to my white and I'm going to add just a little bit of a head right here. And to make it even more like a swan, this is where I'm going to use the black. So if you can't find your black, you can use like pencil or dark gray or something. I'm going to give it a little kind of, it's got like a black eye patch. It's got a black eye, but then it's got kind of this eye patch thing here. And then its beak, usually its bill, ooh, I'm sorry, we learned that when we read Day at Green Hill Farm, didn't we? Its bill goes down. Usually. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so here I'm coloring this in some more. Whoops. And my white just switched to black. And now I'm going to go around it some more with my blue. And maybe you want to draw its bill going out more. That is fine. Alright, so there I can kind of see the head of my swan now, right? So I'm going to switch back to white, and I'm going to finish my little curve to the middle into here. So here it goes. And again, I'm like twisting in my chair, trying to see the light shining on my white. I can feel there where it is. Alright, and I'm going to come back to blue now and get in the edge a little bit more. So here it went around like so. Okay, and I'm going to come back here just a little bit more too. Alright, now I'm going to start the other way, and we're not going to be able to do all the blue on both sides, but we're going to keep doing a little bit of that to help us. So here we go. I'm going to put my finger here, kind of where I started, and go around my curve, and again I'm going to do a half a curve, and then I'll add some more blue. Okay, there's part of my curve. Now I'm going to get my blue, and let's see, oh there, yep, I can feel it now. Okay, and I'm not going to go on this side, because on this side I'm going to start the body of my swan. So I'm going to finish this part going like so. Okay, and then come back with the blue here some more and go around the outside of it. Now, I need a bunch of white feathers in here, don't I? So here's kind of the end of my S, and you still don't see much of an S, do you? That's right, you can see some sparkles, but if you bring this back to school, we're actually going to put some, I have some white pearly glitter glue that we'll put on it to make it more sparkly. Alright, so now I'm going to work on his body. And even though, remember this is a brother, so this is a boy swan, even though I'm not really going to see this white very much, I'm still going to go back and forth on it some here. And then back up this way, right, to kind of make like a swanny sort of tail. Whoops. My white just went the same way as my black. Alright. So now I'm going to switch back to blue. And I can feel here I've got some of the back of my swan. So I'm going to do just a little bit of blue up at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in some of that background now. There we go. I can see part of my swan. Right, now I'm going to come back to these tail feathers here. Let's see. So this is a little more choppy, right, because I couldn't really see where my white crayon was going very well, but it kind of makes it look more like feathers, so that's sort of working out. And I'm going to go ahead and join it here to this part of the blue that I did. How's yours going? This is a tricky one, isn't it? But when we take our time and we're patient with it, it usually works all right. And even if it didn't work very well, bring it to school, we'll add glitter. Glitter fixes everything, right? All right, now you can see the swan. So all that's left now is to fill in the background. I'm going to pause my video and fill in my background. You pause fill in your background. We'll compare them in just a moment, and then bring it to school, and we'll get some glitter on this guy. Alright, kindergartners, here is my swan at the end. I am going to bring mine to school on Monday to add a little glitter onto, not the whole swan, but just the S part to make the S of the sparkling swan stand out even more. So I would love to see yours on Monday if you can bring them in, you know, without them getting all crunched and crushed up. That'll be great. We'll add some glitter to them. And we're getting closer and closer to having your whole book done.